Hey lovies, this is Michelle here at Life Mantra Tarot. I hope that you guys are all doing great on this Monday. I guess you could say evening. It's almost 6, right? Yeah, we could say evening. But yes, I hope that you guys are all doing great. I hope that the week is off to a good start and all that jazz. So yes, for those of you who are new to the channel, end up watching, welcome. And I hope that you like what you see here. Decide to stick around, check out the other content on my channel and see if there's anything else that you might like, so on and so forth. You're more than welcome to do so. Um, and definitely subscribe if you're okay with that, all that good stuff to help the channel intermingle with each other in the comments. And for those of you who have already been rocking with your girl for a bit, welcome back and thank you for the continued support. I appreciate you guys greatly. I love you very, very much. So with all that said, we are gonna kind of just tap right on in. As you guys saw in um, the whatchamacallit, the title, this is going to be about, so it'll be like a little bit of a twofer. Hey, what's up, Chris? What's up? This is going to be a little bit of a twofer. This is going to be looking at, the self-love and self-care healing journey first and foremost, but it's also going to touch base on how we can, work on that part of ourselves so that we can, for those of us who, I'm not single, but for those of us who are, um, what you can be working on, when it comes to welcoming love in, and even if you are in a relationship, what can you be doing that helps you sustain love within the relationship, right? We have to be able to love ourselves first before anybody else can, right? So making sure that we're taking the proper care of ourselves to make sure that our needs are being met, before we can give into a connection with another person. So those are going to be some themes that we'll see that will get touched upon throughout the reading. And this is a collective message, so please take the messages as they resonate and leave the rest behind. I'm gonna put this too loud because I got flagged before for copyright. Oops. That hasn't happened in a while. But anyway, we're gonna get started. All right, Spirit. So only let positive energy into this reading for the collective. Show the collective what they need to see at this time for their highest good when it comes to this part of their journey. Yeah, let's get started, shall we? All right. So to start, we are going to start with the elemental empath oracle. This is a really good one for like talking about healing and stuff like that. Hey, Queen Empress, how are you? And I see some other people popping in. Hi, Mary. Hi, Mirella. Hope you guys are all doing great. Um, so this is a collective message. The descriptions and everything are within the title itself, so it's pretty self-explanatory, but this is going to be like a self-love, self-care kind of reading, and just kind of how we prepare ourselves for new love coming in. And even for those of you who are in relationships, things that you can be doing when it comes to working on yourself so that you can have a stronger bond within your connection. So there will be, you know, different themes popping up, and just take the messages as they resonate and leave the rest behind. And I'm happy that there's some people popping in, tapping in. All right, so I'm gonna do a few more shuffles and we'll get started. Pull a few from here and then we'll keep going. All right. Thank you, Spirit. I like it. Starting out here on the bottom of the deck, we have balance. Um, all is connected, balance extremes, and inner and outer. So making sure that like your inner and outer worlds are, how can I put it? Your inner world is a reflection of what you're going to see in the outer world, right? So if you're not really where you want to be in your life, or you're, feeling kind of out of sorts within yourself, you will see that kind of reflect on the outside part of yourself. And to be able to kind of combat that, it's important to be able to find a sense of balance within yourself, and, dealing with emotions and things like that, to be able to, bring that sense of peace into your life. I'm also kind of getting like yin and yang energy. I'm seeing scales. Some of you guys might have Libra in your chart. So I'm getting a little bit of, I'm getting also, like, ironically enough, I did bring out a shadow work deck. I'm getting balancing the light and the dark, understanding, like, we we are trying to be light-bodied individuals, but excuse me, there's confirmation there. There are parts of ourselves, like the shadow part or the darker parts of ourselves, that sometimes need tending to as well. And when we understand those parts and we shine that light upon them, that's when we're able to work and sort through it. So I'm kind of getting a little bit of all of that. Definitely getting like angel of balance kind of energy here. So let's see, let's see. Queen Empress, I haven't done that in a while, to be honest. Like, I'm trying to get back into the swing of things when it comes to doing these readings first, and then I do want to start getting back into doing those because it's been a while. And I do like doing them, but they are it takes a lot of energy, and with me doing what I do for work already, when I come home I'm beat. So like I took a hiatus honestly for a bit from reading at all, and I'm trying to get back into the swing, being more consistent, which I'm happy about and proud of myself for. So, the same way that I'm saying, finding balance within you guys and within yourselves, I'm trying to do the same. So, I do want to get to that point again. I will be opening up, for readings in that way again soon. I haven't even been doing paid readings. I'm just doing kind of this right now. But hopefully that answers the question. um, but yeah, I'm about to get back into the groove and the swing of things soon. Trust and believe it. I got y'all. I got y'all. So we have star, divine, inner divine. Yes, exactly. Finding the God within, right? Finding that light that shines so bright within yourself. You are the fucking star. Don't you ever forget. Deities, guidance, clarity, and protection. Know that you are protected through this process, right? But also, like, I'm getting like inner compass as well, like understanding that you guys are probably a lot more capable of things than what you give yourself credit for. I'm kind of getting. So just understanding, like, you are a divine being. You have more than enough capability to be able to navigate this part of the journey. But there's nothing wrong with, yes, that inner compass and that inner guidance is important, but you can also rely on source for, extra answers or, whatever you believe in. Like I said, deities, if you believe in, a higher power, ancestors, the universe, whatever you believe in. All belief systems are welcome here. But yeah, so something along those lines is what I'm getting, but definitely just understanding that that inner light within yourself that they want you to pay close attention to. We have earth, grounding, calm the mind, connect to the body, mindfulness, and nature. So this might be a good time for some of you guys to work on getting more grounded. Um, I know it's kind of weird because it's winter time, so it's like, depending on where you live, getting grounded in nature is a little bit more difficult. Like a lot of times people want to like, walk in the grass, and stuff like that. It's kind of hard to do that during this time of year, depending on where you live. Like I'm in Connecticut, so like here I'm not gonna really be able to do that. I'm gonna be walking in snow, get fucking around, get frostbite. So it's like, that would be kind of hard for me. But I did just learn recently that there are these things called grounding mats, and you can find them like on Amazon and stuff like that that mimic um like the molecular things that happen when you're doing grounding and you're walking in grass and stuff like that, hugging trees. Like for those of you who are into that kind of thing, there are things you can do. You can also work on like things like at home. um you could do yoga, you can do meditation, Pilates, things that kind of get your body moving too. I'm getting a little bit of all of that, but there is definitely this energy of just, again, like connecting with the earth in some kind of way, shape, and form, putting your hand in dirt and just, holding on to it. There's so many things, like some of you guys actually might like planting things, like, and have like a garden or something, again, depending on where you live right now. I just heard green thumb, so some of you guys might actually be into that, which is pretty cool. Um, so that could be a way for some of you guys to kind of reconnect with self as well, and connect with source, connect with the earth. Tell us more. Hi, Riddy. How are you? I'm sorry that you're going through all of that. I'm really sorry. Um, I know there's a lot of people going through a lot of different things right now. Um, Everybody's going through their different challenges. This is just a collective message at this time. I'm hoping that if you do decide to stick around, there might be something within the message that might still like resonate with you. It might not be pertaining to your exact situation, but it might be something that resonates with what you are dealing with. If you would like to stick around, if not, totally understood because this is just a collective right now. Um, but hopefully, if you stick around long enough, I'll tap into some of your energy and it might show up in the reading. Nonetheless, I do send love, light, and prayers your way for that part of your healing process because it does sound like you're going through a lot of stuff, and I definitely felt that like really close. Like I'm not saying that just to say it and blow smoke. Like I'm serious. Like I felt that as I was reading it. Like sounds like a lot to try to deal with. Um, so let's pull some more cards. Mm, wow. So we have, this is like some air energy now going on. Before it was like earth energy. Now we have more like air. We have breathe, return to breath, calm the mind. Breath is life. That's one part. The other part that came out along with that is stillness. Yeah, practicing stillness. Remember, I mentioned meditation, even though that card is a little bit different from when I mentioned meditation. Like I was feeling that, and now it's kind of showing up. Like she's actually like meditating here in the picture. Um, Calm the mind, overthinking, observe, and awareness. So there is definitely an energy of overthinkers. Hi, movies, dimension. This is actually a collective message. This is just, for people who might need a little bit of guidance right now. And, everybody's going through different things, but, some people might have very similar stories, behind the scenes. So if you would like to stick around, you can and see if there's anything in the message that you feel pertains to your own unique situation. If not, totally understood. But this is like a self-love and self-care kind of reading, and welcoming and opening ourselves up to new love in the future and or working on current relationships as well. So if it resonates, it resonates. If not, totally understandable. But I do hope that there's a message here if you decide to stick around. All right, so let's see what else is going on. Like I said, there's definitely like this energy of like, again, like I'm getting like deep breathing. I do mindfulness exercises and stuff with my students at work every day, and affirmations and things like that. I'm getting something like that, just taking a deep breath and, being like, I heard peace be still, like finding, peace in that sense of stillness where you just like close your eyes and you just allow yourself to, like mindful, like I said, mindfulness exercises, like allow yourself to, feel your heart beating, in your chest under your hand, or, your chest rising up and down, digging your feet into the floor, even if there's no sand or anything underneath it, but you can pretend that there is, and like stretching up to, the sky. Like we do stuff like that with my kiddos at work all the time, especially like, now we don't go out to the playground, it's too cold. So like we do like yoga and stuff with them, and they love it. So it allows them to, connect with their little bodies, their little busy bodies, and, give them reminders of, how to calm themselves throughout the day. And, especially if they're having a hard time or something like that. We all go through that moment. Even us as adults, we go through it too, right? So I'm getting something like that. Definitely just connecting, finding that center, that balance. I mean, the first card we saw was balance. We have desire here. This is like fire energy coming up. Heart's true desire, gratitude, address inner blocks. Yeah, so what is it that you desire to have at this time, right? What is it that you desire to have? Hey, Cynthia. Hey, love of gold. People who are part of the tribe, I love to see you guys pop in. Thank you for being here, guys. I hope our girls pop in too. Lati and Aya, aka Veronica. I hope they pop in too. But Yes, welcome, welcome. And everybody else was here as well. Love you guys. And like I said, we hope that you guys get something out of here. There she goes. As I say, I hope she pops in. Hey, Live, what's up, girl? So yes, with that said, like that we remember we talked about the inner compass, right? Like the inner desires, the motivations. What I just heard I I heard a Jimi Hendrix song. I have only one burning desire. Do 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 do. Let me stand next to your fire. Let me stand next to your fire. So we might have a Jimi Hendrix fan in the group somewhere or the chat, whatever. Let me know because I am a huge Jimi Hendrix fan. Okay, that's my boy. Oh, move over, Rover, and let Jimmy take over. Yeah, that's my boy. So it's just funny because that like popped in my head. It's a good song. Um, yeah, I have only one burning desire. Let me stand next to your fire. Yeah, finding that fire within yourself, right? That push, that drive. We have manifest magic. Manifest magic. Some of you guys might identify with like um orishas and stuff like that. You might have a connection to like the ocean. We have it says weave your magic, miracles understand manifestation. um I say this because there's like a mermaid kind of energy here. Hey Skittles, what's up? Yes, so I'm getting kind of like this energy of, you know, you guys are like master manifestors, and it's like, it's just about putting your mind to the things that you want, again, those desires that you have, right? And making sure that you stand on it. Like if that's really, if whatever you want, whatever your heart desires, you can have it. It's just a matter of putting in the effort. It's a matter of, acknowledging, how to go about getting it. um and not only that, but like, as my girl La would say, you know she always talks about, and I'm so happy when I first like heard her mention it because I never heard of it before. But there's something called, and I mention it a lot now because of her. I always give credit where it's due. But there's something called the assumption, or sorry, the law of assumption. So a lot of people know about like the law of attraction. It's like affirmations and stuff like that, which are cool. Or just saying, what I want is mine and that kind of stuff. Like you're attracting it, which is cool. But when you feel like you already have it and you believe that shit and you stand on that, that's a whole different ball game. Now it's really yours, right? Um, and it's a hard practice for me to personally get into because like I'm not gonna lie, like I have a lack mindset, and I'm learning that more and more about myself. But hey, we do a lot of healing on here, and one thing about me, I'm healing right along with y'all. I'm not gonna sit here and act like I'm a guru and know everything, 'cause I don't. But what I do happen to know is the things I happen to share, and I also am very, very quick to share, things about myself that, I'm working on, so that we can all help each other. And I'm still working on that. I'm also working on, self-talk. So I felt connected to this reading, maybe partially for that reason, because I know I struggle with that. So I'm sure there's going to be messages in here for me as well. So, just know, like, the things that we want, I'm gonna say we, the things that we want, we can definitely have, we can achieve it. It's just a matter of, having the mindset to, to do it, right? What did my girl last say? Yes, exactly. For those of who watch later, you might not see the comments, so I'm gonna just say it. While T just said from Tears and Wheat Tarot Show, check her out. And Love of Gold too. She's another reader. Awesome. Gotta always shout out my readers. Especially those who watch me. I'm like, damn, little old me, y'all watching me too. I be watching y'all, y'all watching me. But she says, you got to assume the highest is already available to you. Have whatever you like. Do it. Do it. Not even do it, but did it. I love that. But you guys are awesome. You guys are amazing. We're gonna keep on instilling that within ourselves, okay? We're gonna help each other. We have intimacy here, more water energy. Um, Connect, discover, and voice need. Yeah. Oh my God, I literally said that in the beginning of the reading. I said something about, I was like being able to, like when I was just doing the introduction, I didn't even pull any cards yet. I was saying how throat chakra, like you see how like my voice is cracking. Some of you guys might have a hard time being honest about what you need from people, like your partner and things like that when you date and stuff like that, if you're in a relationship. But it seems very important. I'm gonna read it again. Connect, discover, and voice needs, explore, and heal. So I'm getting something. Um, I don't know, man. Like I'm getting something about some folks that have a hard time with expressing that stuff, and it's okay. Um, that's what we're going to work on, right? And within the beginning parts of this, I did say, I was like, okay, I'm picking up on, maybe because this is about self-love and self-care and all that, and like welcoming love in and all that. But I did mention that I also was feeling like, okay, if there's people here who are watching who are already in a relationship, this is also about, how can you work on yourself and do that work within yourself so that you can be more expressive when it comes to what you need, your wants, your needs, your desires within a connection in general. So there you go, we got a little bit of confirmation there. And I was, like I said, that was even before I pulled any cards. I was feeling that. So okay. We have divine timing. Yes, trust the universe, follow the flow, patience, and signs. I can dig it for sure. Yes, practicing a sense of patience. Things don't always happen on, our watch, right? It happens when it's meant to. Raise vibration. I said the title is, raising frequency, and it says raise vibration. I was like struggling between, should I use vibration or frequency? I went with frequency, but now we have this here. That's kind of interesting. Connect to light, and I was talking about our connection to our light and our dark earlier too. Release blocks, strengthen, and safety. I like that. Love it. Middle of the deck we have community. Yes, see, confirmations there too, like, us relying on each other for that support, right? I was saying, like, I'm still learning, right? As I work on myself, we all connect. Like, this is a community that we're building of people who are working on themselves, and that's what my channel is geared towards. And as long as I know, okay, let me just read what it says. Connect with others, support, because I saw a community and just started going off, right? Connect with others, support, give, and receive, and angels. I'm getting like earth angel type of shit right there. And ironically, like, I keep on calling this is when I was like pulling decks, I was like, oh, the earth angel deck. This is not called that at all, but I always call it that for some reason. I know that's not what it's called, but I call it that all the time. And I don't have the box. So I think it's Star Seeds. I think it's like a Star Seeds deck, but I mean, hey, very similar stuff, in my opinion. So it's like, I'm like, we're gonna go with that, and that's why I still call it. So it's like, whatever, it works. Okay, so with that said, I am going to now pull some tarot based on the energy we see so far. I think that would be a good way to start this next portion of the reading off. Before I even shuffle or anything, we have the Six of Swords here. So that's about, moving on, right? It's a transitional period of your life, moving from the rough waters to the calmer waters after periods of, you know, hardships and things like that, struggles, moving on. I can dig it. So I'm going to do a cross of truth for this part of the reading, and then you're going to pull from other decks as well and tap into that as well. If you guys are enjoying this reading so far and feel like you're connecting with it, let me know in the comments. I would greatly appreciate it. And if you're new to the channel, haven't done so already, subscribe. I would greatly appreciate that as well. All right, a couple more shuffles and then get started on that. Thank you. Ah, the lovers. Well, would you look at that? The lovers. So, the lovers, we're talking about love and all that, right? Self-love, all that. I'm getting to be honest, like what I'm picking up on as I look at this card and feel the energy, it's just on the bottom of the deck, but like this is what I'm picking up. So on, yeah, can't even get my words out. This is what I'm picking up on so far, just from like the feeling I'm getting from looking at this. I'm getting like hard choices that had to be made, major decisions to move forward from something. I'm getting like that energy of needing to choose self, and this was not an easy feat, right? To do that, but I'm getting you had to choose yourself in order to get to where you needed to go. Um, and I'm getting that, this was a part of that balancing that we were talking about early in the reading. Maybe there were things that were, not balanced within connections in the past. And, now you're like, I'm hearing like Lauryn Hill X Factor, the part where she says, tell me who do I have to be to get some reciprocity? Like, I'm getting that right now. And it's like, you know, you could sit there and pour yourself into a connection over and over and over, and it's like if it's if the relationship is shit, or it's imbalanced or unbalanced, um it puts you in that place where you have to make a choice, for your sense of self-preservation. You can't keep on pouring into shit that just doesn't make sense, doesn't pour into you, right? Interesting. The rejection factor. Gotta check that out. Exactly. See, when I saw that, because the number 6 is on the Lovers card, and the number 6 represents balance. Like, think about like the 6 of Pentacles, right? It represents a sense of like, equal give and take, right? Generosity, not overgiving, right, and not being selfish. It's meeting in the middle ground. And if your relationships lacked that in the past, there you go. So it's like what we got. This is in a challenging position, what we have. All right, so we have Queen of Wands here showing up in a challenging position. So it's giving me that, you guys might have, maybe at different points in time, maybe lacked a little bit of, how can I put it? Maybe lacked a little bit, maybe like confidence or assertiveness when it comes to, you know, expression. I know that, that's fire energy there, but we were talking about expression too, right? So just what I'm feeling here, like I'm getting that, it might have been hard, especially with the challenged. Like that might have been a struggle. Yeah, and the devil's on the bottom of the deck. So it's like, it could cause a lot of, I heard the word angst. It could cause a lot of issues. It could cause, you to go through depression. It could cause you to, feel, negative about yourself. It could cause a lot of things. That lack of confidence, or confidence is affected, from these kind of things, it could become a snowball effect, and it can affect you in many different ways. So, that's where like things like, codependent relationships come from, right? When people can't, feel good within themselves because of maybe some of the things they've been through. Not to blame everything and everyone for everything, right? Because that's not fair. We got to take accountability too. We're adults, right? If you know that you have those kind of things going on, get the help and stuff that you need. Work on that, right? Um, One thing we're not going to do around here is just the blame game all the time and point fingers at everybody else. Like, no, we don't do that here. If that's what you want, if you want a pity party, this is not your channel. Just saying. One thing we do when we healing around here, and healing takes accountability. That means that you have to look deep within yourself. There's a reason why I have this deck already ready. I felt it. I was like, we're gonna be doing a little bit of shadow work in this reading too, okay? But yeah, diving a little bit deeper within self and understanding that part of yourself. What makes it tick? Where is it coming from, right? Because for some of you, this stuff could stem really far back. It could be like stuff that you witnessed as a kid, with your parents, or maybe you never saw secure attachments, and maybe you have an insecure attachment style when it comes to love and relationships because of that. I mean, we could get really really heavy on here. Okay. So yeah, but it's gonna take some strength, right? Some of you guys might have some type of fire in your chart, maybe Leo energy. Big time Leo energy actually popping up. Let me know in the comments if that resonates. But if not, it's just the energy that you guys are in right now, right? Finding that sense of strength and confidence, right? Within self. Courage. My hand hurts. I did something to it. I think it's the way I lay on my hand. Because even though I have a pillow, obviously, but I lay like weird on my hand like that. And I think like my finger got bent like that for too long. And like it's been hurting for days. And it keep like gets cramped up. And at this somewhat big age that I am now, everything's starting to hurt. So I'm just like, damn, man. I gotta start taking better care of myself. Gotta take some glucosamine and shit. Make sure these joints is doing what they need to do. So right now I just feel like step, crackle, pop. Go to pick up something off the floor, pop. Pop goes the weasel and shit with my joints. But anyway, all right, tell us more, spirit. Another thing you'll get on this channel for those of you who are new, you're gonna laugh. We laugh a lot over here, okay? A little bit of comedic relief and stuff because things get heavy on here. So I want to always make sure I make you guys comfortable and relaxed during these moments. But yes, tell us more, spirit. I need to pick your brain about that. I know you have been talking about like putting collagen in drinks and stuff, like your coffee and things like that. I know you at one point you were doing like the mushroom coffee. I don't know if you're still doing that, but I want to learn more about that because I know that stuff is really good for you. Excuse me, and I'm really interested. All right, so we have judgment here as the challenge, and the thing is, it's like, and it makes sense, right? Lacking the confidence and stuff. Like this is like a judgment call. There's an awakening happening, and a reckoning too, right? And it's like, as you're waking up, right, and seeing more within yourself, you're understanding yourself more, and it's a journey, you know. It takes time to figure all these things out, these nuances about yourself, because you're stepping into this new phase. So that's why there's this importance of making sure that you're becoming more centered within yourself. Raise his hand. I got to work on that. And we were talking about seeing the light within yourself and acknowledging that, right? Feeling that sense of security within yourself with the grounding. You know, a lot of different energies that showed up earlier. But it's all kind of coming together here when we get to this judgment card and understanding that, if that's like been kind of like the, how can I put it? The, challenging aspect of where to go from here, it makes sense. There we go. Coming right back to it. I mean, literally, that was the first card we saw, the lovers, right? There's choices to be made here. So it's like, the more that you understand, the importance of, having, I'm getting inner voice for sure. I was picking up on it before, and I'm picking up on it a lot more now. Like that's very resonant. Inner voice, how you speak to yourself is a big part of that, but also, you know, what you choose to give life to, what you choose to listen to. Hmm. Yeah. The word reckoning keeps on like popping up in my head. It does say reckoning on this card. Yeah. Interesting. Tell us more. Hmm. I like it. All right, so we have Ace of Wands. Nice, nice. I like that. And I like that, Chris. I like what you just said. Tell Teen I said hi, love, and miss you guys. Gotta link up. I know we always say that, but we have to actually make it happen. It's a new year. Colin Shreese, they're doing great. If you haven't spoken to them in a while, but they're doing awesome. So we gotta make something happen because I miss all of you guys, and it would be nice to have the Bev Max crew together again. The OGs. Everybody always asks about y'all at the job, and I'm just like, those are my peoples. I talk to them all the time. I miss them. But anyways, yeah. So we got This is about being inspired, right? This is what you guys are like kind of starting to feel, right? Or this is what you would like to feel. Um, and it's interesting because we had like the desire card, which kind of ties back into this inspiration. There's like an energy of a new spark there, you know feeling really like motivated about stuff, that fired up energy we were talking about before, so we're getting more of that now. um yeah, so it's like what is sparking that flame within you at this time? What is it? you know I love you guys. Hi, Teen Teen. And I know Teen Teen has been feeling super inspired with all of her stuff she's been doing. She's an amazing artist, guys. Amazing artist. I'm gonna start sharing more of her stuff whenever I see it on my timeline. I always do, but maybe check your page out and just see what else is up there, because she's an amazing artist, and she's also a spiritualist too, so she does very spiritually inclined like art and stuff like that, beautiful pieces and journals and coloring books, all kind of cool stuff on like Amazon. I'm like, girl. And then he and Chris, because Southbound, there is my boy Chris from that I used to work with. Been friends now, what, how long have I been at the store? 17 years. We've been friends for 17 years. He has an amazing wife. I love them to death. And he's an amazing musician and songwriter. So I'm just like, I love when people who I love and adore pop in and, support me, because I always want to support you guys. But yeah, again, like, I think a lot of people are, feeling more inspired right now, right? We're in this place, especially like, that we're in a new year, and I believe it's the year of the horse. And I believe the year of the horse, correct me if I'm wrong, Lati, I think you might be a little bit more insightful about this than me, but I believe it's about like um your manifestations kind of happening, right? Coming in. Correct me if I'm wrong. Right? But I believe it's like about, because like last year was the year of the snake, about shedding, right? And now I think this is about like manifestations kind of coming through. Yeah, momentum. Yeah, things kind of happening, right? And it makes a lot of sense. I would not be shocked if we were to see like the Knight of Wands or something like pop in, taking flight, or the Eight of Wands, like taking flight and action towards something new. So, ooh, we're flipped. What we got? Where is it? I like that. So yeah, behind the scenes, Spirit is like, let me tell y'all motherfuckers. You guys are showing up as the Empress, whether you're a man or a woman or whatever, however you identify. It's just the energy. But right now, that's just about a sense of growth, right? And healing. Healing literally is on there. So it's like, you're just right now. This is a time like behind the scenes where Spirit is just like, look, we see what you're doing. Okay, we know that you're working on your healing. We know that you're giving birth and creation to something, right? So just keep on keeping on. I'm not sure why I'm picking up on this, but I'm feeling like something might happen like during either you have Taurus in your chart, or something might happen during Taurus season. um, Now, granted, I don't really even know when Taurus season is. I'm not gonna hold you. I'm not really good with that type of stuff. But I feel like it's like an April-ish slash May, I believe. I think it's like the end of, is it the end of April? I feel like it's like the end of April, early May. Again, correct me if I'm wrong. I'm not the best with zodiac signs. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I kind of know where they are overall, but like if you were to ask me like the exact dates and stuff, I don't have it. I don't have it. I know my limitations, and I will admit them. I'm not the best with that. I need to get on my shit though. But I'm picking up on that. So yeah, something might happen around that time. And thank you for the clarification, my friends. I love you guys. um, Six of Cups on the bottom of the deck. Now, remember I was saying that, there could be stuff that's rooted, like, kind of, in childhood. And then with this Empress energy, that's a mother figure. So I'm not sure if something, is also another message I'm getting. Like, if part of what's going on is like this behind the scenes thing of like some stuff is, it could be like a mother wound I'm getting. It could be a mother wound that you have been wanting to work on, and it might work out. It depends on your circumstances. Like, we're not, one thing we're not going to do is like force people to go rebuilding friendships or relationships. Like, no. If you know that you're done with a situation, you're done. But like, if there is something that you wish to kind of rekindle or work on, like within like a family dynamic, whether it's with your own kid or, you know, your mom or something like that, that's not going to be for everybody. That seems very specific. But for some, there could be something like that happening where they're just saying, hey, that's okay if you want to do that. It could work out in your favor, but just make sure that, you know, because like the Wheel of Fortune also showed up. So there's like karmic debts and things like that, karmic lessons. Like, if you know that there's something that you're totally done with and you've washed your hands of it, that's perfectly okay. If you feel like there's something worth working on and salvaging, that's perfectly fine too. So just, you know, take the messages as they resonate, because like I said, that's not gonna be for everybody. That seems very specific. Um, but let's see what we got here. Yes, 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 yes. No problem, love of gold. If you can pop in again, I would love to see you here. I'm so happy that you made it. And I like that wording. I love how you worded that. Being free from old debts and galloping unrestrained towards your goals. See, Tina is on her shit, okay? Shit. She's on her shit. She's right along with us, okay? She married the right person, my boy Chris. So great people. All right, tell us more, Spirit. I hope you guys are resonating with this. I hope this is making sense and that um, you're enjoying the message so far. First off, I'm a whole chick. I got 30, 38 triple D's here. If you didn't see them, I kind of kept the camera a certain way for a reason, because everybody always talks about my titties anyway. But don't fuck with me, because one thing I will say is I love me some goddamn bacon. Bacon is amazing. Do you want me to sell you a bag? No. Anyway, recent past. I love you a lot. Thank you, baby girl. Love you, love you, love you. So we got, you know, one day with me, I take things in jest on here. Like I will crack jokes on people so quick, you don't feel like a damn fucking fool. Like, I'll entertain you just for a second, just so I could get my rocks off too. Because I be fucking with people. I'm a troll. Just like you want to be a troll, I could be one too. So anywho, recent past energy, we have the Hanged Man, which is about releasing, right? It's about finding a sense of enlightenment. Oh, look what's on the bottom of the deck, the Death card. A lot of major arcana showing up. Damn, I think every card that showed up so far, almost every card, with the exception of 2 cards, has been a major arcana. The only thing that wasn't a major arcana was the Queen of Wands, but she's a badass. And then we had an ace pop up too. So I mean, shit, you guys are in a really good space in terms of that. But yeah, there was a lot of fears and anxieties attached to these endings that had to happen, right? We did talk about the energy, excuse me, that I was picking up on with that Lovers card. I was picking up on more of it being like a decision of releasing something, you know. And, you know, moving forward, right, with this Page of Wands, you know, feeling a sense of enthusiasm and saying, you know what, this is hard, but I can do this. I can do hard things. That's one of our affirmations in my classroom. I can do hard things. I praise my students all the time when they do something that's like hard or challenging or they're scared. And, you know, especially with the kids I'm with, like developmentally, like their big thing right now is like a fear of failure or a fear of like letting down their peers, like in group situations. So, you know, they get scared to like, you know, do stuff in front of their friends, or they think their friends are doing better than them at something. So, you know, I always try to reinstill in my students like how great of a job they're doing, and acknowledge like, hey bud, you did such a great job over there. I know you're really scared and really anxious about such and such, but you did it. You went to a whole different part of the room or the building that you were scared of, or we went to a you know an event that you were nervous about, but you did it. And high five. Like, I give them all the kudos. You know what I mean? I give them all the kudos. So yeah. So something about that is kind of standing out to me, because like it's almost like we have to do that for ourselves. We have to give ourselves like little pep talks, and just speak to each other in that way, or to ourselves in that way. Oh, my teacher voice is really good. Like, literally, like, and it took almost 7 years to get to this point, but I low key, it's a low key brag. I ain't gonna lie. Like, I'm actually really good. Like, today, one of my students was losing his shit all day, and they were like, "Shao, how did you deal with that?" I'm like, I got to his level, and I was like, I started talking about his favorite shows, and I was like, "Hey, what year did Mr. Min come out again?" He's like, "Oh, which one? The one on Cartoon Network?" And I'm like, and we just start having like this whole conversation, like, and I'm just like, "Oh, that's so cool. Can you tell me more?" Like, and I just like, and I'm like, "Hey, so which one of the Mr. Min characters is your favorite?" He's like, "I really like Mr. Happy." I was like, "Well, I know you're having a hard time right now, but how about we go back to the class, and I'll be Mrs. Sunshine, and you could be Mr. Happy, and we could go finish your work." We were talking about the food pyramid. Pyramid. um, and he was upset because one of his favorite services, the person who provides the service, wasn't there today. So he was not happy for hours. This was going on for hours. He had a rough time today, and it's okay. It's okay. um I got him to calm down and stuff. I just it's like, okay, so we're gonna go back to class. You're gonna be Mr. Happy, I'm gonna be Mrs. Sunshine, or Little Miss Sunshine. Let's do this. He finished his work, and I was just, and everybody's like, how did you do that? I'm like, just got to get on their level, man. Just got to get on their level, when you work with kids with special needs, especially with autism, like, when like their little niche and stuff like that, and like you use that to like work with them, you're golden. I'm telling you. I've learned from the best, though. I have great teachers and mentors that I've worked under for all these years, and I've learned a lot. So that's how I connected with them. So I'm getting something like, what are your things that make you, what are your desires, right? What makes you tick? Dive deeper into that about yourself, so that you can remain optimistic about, like, when you're having a hard time and stuff like that with something, to reconnect to what it is that, finding your why. You know what I mean? That's what I'm getting. Always remembering and finding your why when you forget, when you feel disconnected, is what I'm kind of getting. Let me know if that resonates, if it makes any sense. All right, so incoming energy. Ooh, look at that. Success and victory, baby. Give it to me, baby. Yes, I love that. So you got the Six of Wands energy, a lot of fire energy showing up throughout this reading already. Did we not call it, guys? Did we not call it when we said I feel Knight of Wands energy? And there we go. Confirmed. Confirmed. Yes, they're like, look, this is time to, like, you gotta, invest in yourself. The things that make you happy. Go after what makes you passionate. Yes. And you're gonna see things come from it. And we got the Queen of Pentacles here in the middle of the deck. But what I'm getting, because it's about abundance, like, that's more like a monetary thing, or earthly matters. But what I'm also getting here is, wealth shows up in so many different ways in our life. I'm getting like health is wealth and stuff like that. So it's like 48. So it's like, health is wealth, right? So all of those different things, not just financial, but there's, like Lati said it, breakthroughs, right? There's going to be breakthroughs getting ready to happen, and you guys are setting that ball into motion. So keep up what you've been doing. So what we're going to do now is we're going to look a little bit more into the like self-care kind of stuff, self-care, practical things that we can be doing to take better care of ourselves, and get more in line with that. So I have like 3 different, and there's like affirmations and stuff too. So I've got a few decks for that, and then we're going to look into like little bit of shadow work, just a little bit, and love, how we welcome love in and stuff like that. So let's see what happens. um, Not for you to know wants to know. Are you doing general zodiac? This is very right now. No, and thank you for being here. I hope you decide to stick around. So on my channel, I don't typically do zodiacs. I do like to try to do specific readings from time to time, but am I doing it currently? No. This is just a general message. So if you would like to stay around, I would greatly appreciate it. And there might be something in the message that resonates with you. This is a self-love and self-care kind of reading right now. Um, and if it's not for you right now, perfectly understandable, and I understand that. But thank you for popping in, even if you don't decide to stay. Oh, well, look at that. When we split the deck, what's here? That's funny. Get a reading from your girl, maybe. Just saying. But yeah, it says use divination to understand your desires and your path. That's interesting. That's so funny. It's just ironic, we're asking like, oh, like, do you do personal questions and stuff? And I'm just like, well, I split the deck that's there. Spirit's funny like that. I did say it earlier when somebody was asking, another subscriber, she was asking, oh, do you still do those? The personal questions? And I honestly, it's been like probably a good like 2 to 3 months since I've done it. It's just because it's very, very hard for me. I'm not gonna lie, because I have a lot of stuff going on. So it's been, I hope I'm not sounding like I'm just making an excuse, but like to be able to like lock into several different people like back to back versus a collective message is a little bit different for me. um it's really hard for me to kind of step into the energy I need for that. So I'm just trying to ease back into at least being more consistent with collective readings, and I will start getting back into doing those again. Because I want to, I desire to do so. I desire to do so, okay? Because you guys show up for me all the time. I want to make sure I show up for you guys as well. Because like I know my girl Lati on fire with them. Tears and Wheat Tarot Show, she does them like once or twice a week. So check her out. And then if my other girl or our girl Aya Inspired Tarot shows up, she does them too. So I always, one thing with me, I ain't greedy. Like, I will let y'all know who the real deal Holyfields are when it comes to that type of stuff. They do, the personal questions and stuff all the time. So as I'm saying all that, look what's here. And I feel like that spirit's like talking to me right now, talking shit. Okay, guys, I hear y'all. Challenge yourself. Okay, okay. Because even Lati, we had a conversation the other night. She was like, trying to help push me. And I'm like, damn, this is why you're my sister, man. It says challenge yourself to do better. Yes, don't set limits on your potential. Look at that. No, is spirit talking or what? I love that. Okay. That's just on the bottom. We didn't even like do anything yet. All right, let's get like maybe 3 from here, because I do have some other like self-love and all that stuff going on, self-care. And I do hope that this is resonating with you guys. Really, really appreciate you guys for being here. What we got? There's a burp trying to come out. Excuse me. Remember when I was talking about you guys might have a hard time like speaking, your truth and things like that, and connections and things like that? Well, look what's here. This could be a little bit of confirmation for some of you. Someone with heavy influence from your past life is with you. I'm getting, it says past life connection, but I'm getting even maybe within this lifetime as well for some of you. And one of the things that, because like not my heart, but my chest started feeling a little bit heavy, like not like a super bad way or anything, but I'm just getting like that's like a suppression a little bit. And it's like, it could be something that stems from like, what's the word I'm looking for? Like past life connections, like karmic debt, karmic lessons. Like, not to say this person's a karmic in and of themselves, but there could be like karmic lessons that needed to be learned for you to kind of, move forward. Right? So there could be somebody who kind of still lingers around. I'm getting something like that. Interesting. They also want you to take better care of your body, your physical body. Let's see. Tell us more. Tell us more. Self-exploration. I was talking about that a lot recently, like in a conversation. Like not even on here, but just in a conversation. Um, Peel off false persona and get to know yourself to find your truth. Okay. I will say this real quick. I'm going to try to make it as quick as I can so that way I can get to the rest of the reading. But interestingly enough, and I think this is why that self-exploration thing is like popping up so resonant for me. What was it, Saturday? Yes, Saturday. I unfortunately had to unsubscribe to somebody, and I'm one thing with me, I'm very open. I love to hear different opinions and stuff, but I one thing I don't like is when people spread false information. I don't like it. Especially people who are supposed to be spiritual. I don't like it. I'm sorry. So there was this girl that was subscribed to, and she had a video that said something along the lines of if you're a celibate woman, then that means that you basically are feeding into the patriarchy and all this bullshit. And what did she call it? Purity culture. I think she called it purity culture. And you don't understand your power as a woman and all this bullshit. And I'm like, wait, what? And then she even said, "Oh, and if you're giving up, you should have somebody pay for it." I'm like, how are you spiritual? You telling people this? Oh hell! No. I wanted to comment so bad. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna preserve my energy because some people completely disagreed with her and some people were agreeing, and I'm just like, you know what? I think there's enough comments here for her to, she's already gone up shit's creek with that bullshit ass stuff that she came up with and put out there. That's her own business. But I had to unsubscribe. I couldn't believe that she said that shit because like as somebody who I can vouch for so many different things when it comes to that. So I'm gonna try to make this quick. And like I said, the self exploration thing is very important right there for me when I mention this. I have been somebody who, sex was one of those kind of things where it was like an outlet for me. And I'm very honest about this. I've talked about it on the channel more than once. um, and, but I used it in a way that wasn't, it was maladaptive. There we go. That's a good way to put it. It was a maladaptive thing for me. So I had learned that about myself through self exploration and shadow work, so on and so forth. Some of you guys might resonate with a similar message or, thing or whatever. So, in story. So, I was celibate for almost 3 years. And I did that for myself. It was not for the patriarchy and all this bullshit. No. It was because I wanted to do that for myself. Oh, and then she said something about self punishment. Oh, women who 57, as I say that. Women who do that, it's a form of self punishment. What the fuck are you talking about? It's not a form of self punishment. You fucking fool. First off, men are celibate sometimes too. People who are like on a spiritual journey, sometimes they use celibacy as a way to, again, self explore. It's like, self exploring your body could be one of them. You ain't you. Let's put it like this: most people who are celibate, I guarantee you, that most of them still getting it cracking by them goddamn selves. I know I was. Shit, Rose and I were really well acquainted, if you know what I'm talking about. So shit. I was not punishing my goddamn self no goddamn well. Okay, I was still getting my rocks off, but by my goddamn self, and I was able to, have a sense of appreciation. Go ahead and laugh, guys. Please do. One thing about me, I love to make y'all laugh. But yeah, so like, what the thing is, it's like, I learned more about my physical self. I learned how to appreciate my beauty more on my own. I didn't have to, let another person tell me I was beautiful or make me feel beautiful or sensual and all. I'm already a beautiful, sensual fucking being. And when I spring it on your ass, if you're willing, I mean, if you're worthy of it and willing, my man, trust me when I tell you, when we get it cracking, that lovemaking gonna be a whole different level now because I am so much in tune with myself that, You know, that celibacy was one of the best things I was able to possibly do for myself. Like, I'm not going to sit here and preach celibacy to every single person because that's not for everybody. But I'm not going to sit there and talk shit about people who are on different parts of their path or have a different thing that they're doing on their journey to get to where they're trying to get. So to sit there and make it seem like any woman who decides to be celibate, mind you, like I said, men are celibate sometimes too for their own reasons. It was just the way she was saying it. I really gave her, I stayed there for like 10, 15 minutes on this fucking message. And the whole thing was like 15 minutes long. And I mean, like a half hour long. And I was just like, I'm trying. I'm really trying. I couldn't do it. I'm sorry, guys. I couldn't do it. I'm very open minded, but that was just bullshit. I was like, we're not going to sit there and belittle a person because they don't want to just go open in their legs. I mean, now granted, she did say, oh, don't just go hopping on anybody's dick, but I mean, the point is, but it's just the way she was saying it. It wasn't, I couldn't connect with it. You know what I mean? So don't let anybody tell you what self-exploration looks like for you, your shadow work, your hermit mode, so on and so forth. You know what I mean? You do what's best for you, boo boo. Okay, so, and like I said, this is coming from somebody who has been celibate. This is coming from somebody who was getting it cracking when I was younger. I was doing my thing. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not gonna lie. Like, I'm very honest. You know what I mean? Like, in my 20s, I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna have fun. Um, but as I would say, once I hit like 25, I was like, okay, this shit's for the birds. I can't do this no more. So like that probably was like the very, very beginning parts of my, my journey that I didn't realize that's what I was even doing. I didn't realize that I was like doing shadow work. I didn't even know what the hell that meant. You know what I mean? But that was like, looking back now, I'm like, that was like the very, very beginning stages of my shadow work and being more selective about, who I dated and things like that. I was a lot more selective and, you know, would take long breaks in between from dating and being intimate and stuff like that. Um, Hence maybe why intimacy was a theme that showed up earlier, right? That sense of, preservation when it comes, it's not about purity like how she was trying to say it. Oh, it's a patriarchy, bitch, bye. um no, it's not even that deep for a lot of people who decide to be celibate, who are within the, I mean, some people, yes, if it's more of a religious thing, but for those of us who are more like on the spiritual aspect of it, and neither one of these things are wrong if it's what you want to do for yourself, as long as you're doing it for yourself and not anyone else. um a lot of times it's more about just reconnecting with self and understanding who you are. And like I said, that was the best thing I did for myself because it allowed me to have that time to myself to be able to reflect, do that introspection and retrospection work on myself, dive a little bit deeper, understand, well, why did you seek validation outside of yourself so much? This is I'm talking about myself, not you guys, but about myself. I had to understand where that stemmed from. You know what I mean? And I learned a lot because of that about myself. So, everybody, has different parts of their journey of how they do this. And, it's going to look different for everyone. But to sit there and be closed minded to somebody else's journey and knock them for what they're doing and have, as some people like said, like there's absolutes and extremes, like to sit there and say those types of things about a person just because that's a part of their journey. Come on now. That's bullshit. So, yes, exactly, Spirit. Thank you. Validate your past, right? Past, present, and future. Every part of yourself is a part. I know that's more like maybe a watch. I don't have my glasses on, so it's hard to tell. But I almost feel like is that a compass? What does that look like to you guys? Because I was talking about inner compass earlier. It's hard to tell what that is. But hold on one second, loves. To be honest, I don't. I forgot what her name was. I think it was like Lady something. So I'm not. I can't. To be honest, I don't remember what her exact name was, Cynthia. But yeah, I feel like even if this is not a I think it is kind of like a little compass. Whether it's meant to be, I don't know, but it looks like one to me. Like there's a map and stuff even there, right, in the picture up there. And to me, that looks like kind of like a compass. And it's like validate your past, right? Your past is what helps navigate you throughout your journey. So don't let anybody knock you down for how you experience it or what you do to overcome it. Okay. And music is also showing up. I love music. Music can heal wounds that medicine cannot touch. And I agree with that 100%. Um, Coming from a musical background with my dad being a musician and my son's a musician as well. Bunch of just musicians everywhere in my family. My grandfather was one, like a jazz musician. So it's like it's a little bit of everything. My dad plays multiple instruments. My son too. So my son, he actually was in one of the number one art schools in America, LAXA in LA. Whoop whoop. So I'm very proud of him. But nonetheless, music is a big part of my healing journey. So I almost said music therapy. I almost said that. Not for you to know says music is my therapy. Very much a music person. Yes, yes. Music is it connects me. Like I feel so like if I'm having a really bad day and I put on some really good music and I try to stick with high vibrational music, but there's sometimes I'll be feeling a little bit ratchet or a little gangster. I might put on some Tupac. Be like, first off, fuck your bitch and the click you claim. No, let me stop. I'm dead ass. I real randomly do that. I'd be like, damn, I kind of want to hear some Tupac. Let me see you toss it up. But anyway, let me stop. Okay, get serious. I love y'all. I love the fact that you guys accept all my shenanigans. But look, we have speak up here. Exactly. What you are not saying that's eating you up inside, you can't keep it in. Or you can't keep it in forever. Sorry. It's time to let it out so you can move on and be happy. We did talk about that. And yes, balance, baby, balance. Because how am I a whole teacher, but then when I get out of work on a Friday, I'm going straight to the liquor store to work there. That's balance. Like I don't have my car right now, and I've been taking Uber. So what was it, Friday, right? Yeah, Friday when I got out of work. So I'm getting picked up from my job at the school. And then the lady who's dropping me off, she's looking, she's like, wait a minute. She's like, am I going to the liquor store? And I was like, yes. She's like, oh, okay. I think she thought she was like, dropping me off there like to get booze. I was like, no, I work here. She was like, oh. I was like, yeah. I was like, well, teachers don't make enough money. So, we got to do what we got to do. She started cracking up. And I was like, speak to the legislatures or legislation. She started cracking up. She was like, I like you. I was like, I like you too. You're a really nice driver. I just went about my business. But plain of the matter is, duality, right? Lati, you were talking about duality the other day. Rediscover yourself. I like that. Rediscover yourself. What are your interests? What your interests are? Who you be with? Things that make you smile. What numbers that you gonna be with? Go call my crew. You can call your crew. You can rendezvous around the park around too. All right. Let me stop. Yeah, right. Like this bitch is crazy. All right. But no, seriously. It says, what are your interests? Are you hiding yourself to please others' versions of you? So people might have like a preconceived notion of who they want you to be, and then you feel like that's the what you need to live up to. And like what we got in the middle of the deck here, challenge yourself. So there's gonna be times where people around you want you to live a certain way and stuff like that, but you're not on their time. You're on your own. So don't worry about what other people have to say, right? Excuse me. I think I want to start diving into like the love part now, because I know I said this was like a twofer and we're already like over an hour in. Sorry, friends. I was trying to like split it up a little bit better than this, but once your girls start talking, she started talking. So I'm not gonna go too crazy because like I don't want to keep y'all here too long. Y'all be like, okay, bitch, took me forever to get to the point. So let's look at some things that could be hidden challenges that you might not be aware of at this time when it comes to love and romance. I think we got a really good insight of what you guys are working on when it comes to, that inner work and self love, self care, things that you could be doing differently to work on those things. At least I hope we got some messages from that. Let me know in the comments if you guys were resonating with those parts of the message. Hit that like button if you haven't already. All right, demanding. You set impo- Oh, it happens to the best of us. Okay. So it says you set impossible standards for your partner to meet. Be less demanding. Now, I get what they're trying to say. I do. I'm not saying I disagree with spirit because I mean our spirit guides are our spirit guides and they know what the hell they're talking about. But reading it intuitively, I'm also getting like it's okay to have high standards, right? But like they said, don't make them impossible, right? Because I just heard too high to get over in my best Michael Jackson voice, like too low to get under, you're stuck in the middle, and the pain is thunder. It's like you can't. It's like you don't want to set people up for failure, right? That's not fair. Have you ever been in a relationship where no matter how great of a job you feel like you're doing in the relationship, they always have a complaint? Oh wow, this food was really good, but you could have put less crushed red pepper flakes in it. Oh, you missed a crumb on the fucking counter when you cleaned. Like, damn, nigga. Like, can I do anything right according to you? It's like, so don't be that person, I think is what Spirit is trying to say. It's okay to, have high expectations and all that. That's fine. But just don't make them so high where it's almost like impossible to be achievable because that's not fair either. That's like abuse. That's all ones. So that could be a karmic lesson for some of you guys. Like maybe in relationships, you either dealt with that or you were that person. Either way, just be mindful of that. Like you also don't want to accept that from anybody either, because like that's no fun. Been there, don't like it. We have two cards that came out together. We have body shame. Some of you guys might body shame yourselves. um you feel unattractive to others. Work on accepting yourself, flaws and all. That's a big one. Like I can definitely vouch and say that, I still sometimes deal with that. And I joke about it sometimes. Like I do a little bit of self-deprecating. Gotta order now. Because, I'll joke and be like, I'm not wearing a bathing suit. I'm not about to go on the beach looking like a beached whale. Like, and people, I'm laughing while I'm saying it. And other people are like, they want to laugh, but they're like, ooh, should I laugh? I'm like, no, I meant it as a legit joke. You can laugh if you want to. Like, I won't be offended. But, how we talk about ourselves is important, right? We were talking about positive, self-talk and stuff a little while ago. So, being mindful of how we, approach that, very important. Um, what did you say? Really, thank you. I appreciate it. Oh, okay. I hear you. Mommy duties, or I'm assuming you're a mom. Um, yeah, parenting duties never end, right? And thank you for being here. If you didn't do so already, my love, please subscribe and come back. Hit the notification bell too, because like I said, I'm gonna be on here more frequently, and you never know, there might be that day finally when I decide to do the personal readings again. So you have a great night. Enjoy dinner and time with the kiddos before you go to sleep. Definitely enjoy that. So the other card that came out with body shame is procrastinate. We have don't make someone wait around too long. See, they might give up on you. See, I'm getting one of those kind of things where it's like, this is actually to me going back to that first card that we saw about the one about like, making things impossible. Right? Like I'm kind of getting that. It's like you might wait for somebody to like, change or whatever, or you want them to, be perfect and you're trying to mold and shape them. And then they're like, damn, I don't know if I want to sit around that long to figure out how this is going to go. I might just bounce. You know what I mean? Or vice versa. Like, they might be asking you to make some changes. Now, I hope it's not about body shaming, because if it is, absolutely fucking not. Because that's what we're not going to do. But that's not what I'm picking up here, to be honest with you. I'm getting like a stalemate energy. It's like, there's these expectations put on, and then when they don't happen, you know, the other person, like, they're supposed to be trying to stick around and they want to, but then they're like, this ain't working. But they want to stay, but then they're like, nah. So I'm getting something like that. There's more than one narrative there, though. So, you know, take the message as it resonates on that one. Because, like, even though those cards came out together, I didn't really feel connected to them together. I felt like they were separate cards. That was interesting. Like I said, that procrastinate one felt more closer to that first card we guys saw. It didn't come out in the official spread, but we did talk about it. Let's get like 2 more from here. I have other cards I want to pull from as well. Thank you, Spirit. Getting hurt. All love comes with the risk of losing it. Don't be afraid to floss. Take a chance. I heard take a ride on the Reading Railroad. Some of you guys might be Monopoly fans. And there's some cards in the chance deck. And it'll tell you to, like, take a ride, like, on the railroads. And then, like, you know, try to see if you could own it. And then if someone already owns it, then I believe that's how the card works. If someone owns it already, then you have to pay them a certain amount of times whatever on the deck or something like that. I mean, not the deck, the dice. But yeah, it's like, you know, we have to take a risk sometimes. And, you know, without risk, or, you know, how can I put it? No reward comes without some type of risk, right? It's just a matter of, you know, being insightful. It's a matter of being discerning, taking your previous experiences and using them in a way that is showing that you have adapted to change and growth. Because, you know, it's easy to just kind of stay, you know, in your zone and be by yourself, you know, or whatever, or keep on repeating the same, you know, things over and over in your relationship if you're currently in one. Like, but who wants to keep doing that, right? Hey, girl, love you. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So yeah, that's kind of what I'm getting there, you know. And I'm speaking as somebody who, I didn't date for almost 3 years. Like, and when I say I did not date, I mean I literally did not date. No sex, no form of intimacy at all. Not even holding hands, nothing. Like a guy would, you know, be interested, and, you know, be like, oh, let me hit you up, give him my phone number. That should be dead in the water as soon as it started within a day. I'm like, nope. Conversation's boring. Next. We're all done, you know. So when I finally was ready, though, it's funny because it's like when I did a lot of this work that we're seeing here, you know, speaking from personal experience, I did a lot of this work, and then that's when things just kind of happened. I didn't expect it to happen, and it did. I was like, whoa, where the fuck did this come from? Wasn't expecting it at all. It just happened. So I've been with my guy now for a little over a year, and things have been pretty good for the most part. You know, no relationship's perfect, but we definitely are at a good place. So we have getting crumbs. You deserve more than crumbs of affection. Wait for the one that adores you. Exactly. No breadcrumbing over here, motherfucker. As a matter of fact, Veronica from I had Inspired Tarot, she was talking to, I forgot who she was reading for at the time, but she was talking about in the live readings that she did last night. She was saying to one of the people she was reading for that she picked up, we literally said it at this, because I thought it in my head, but I waited to say it. And then then I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna type it. And then as I typed it and sent it out, she said breadcrumbing at the same exact time. So you might be, you know, used to getting breadcrumbs, and it's like, yeah, no. You know that you're worth more than that, right? So it's like, that's what we're not going to do. That's what we're not going to allow in our lives in that way, right? When it comes to romance, you know, no more bending over backwards for people and not getting anything, you know, in return. Sometimes what might happen is some of you guys might have dealt with people who are emotionally unavailable, but let's see what it says. Or you might be that person. You are chasing someone unavailable, or you are the one who is running away. Did we not talk about that a little while ago? Remember I was talking about like that procrastinate card. That's what I was getting from that. Waiting for a person to change and they don't change, but then what's the next step, right? And then it makes the person feel like the other person's unavailable emotionally, and it's like it becomes a whole trickle effect there. So yeah, we don't want that. And then some of you guys have maybe struggled with this. I have been this person too. Fated to be alone. You gave up on love because you think you are meant to be alone. It is not true. It's just a matter of being selective about the people who you do happen to let into your space. And I think that's why this intimacy card came in as the last card from that first deck that we read from. So that's a big part of it, right? It's like afraid of intimacy, afraid of, being hurt. But, we have to, again, this channel is not going to be a sob story. We're pointing fingers at everybody else. No, we have to look inward too and understand where is this shit coming from, because it comes from somewhere. I know a place. I'll take you there. With some goddamn shadow work. All right. So it's like, we have to look deeper within ourselves to understand where does this all come from. Because if we just sit there and try to, blame everybody else, we're not doing that. You know what I mean? We have to, you know, be able to look at the whole big picture and say, okay, yes, X, Y, and Z happened in the past. So and so might have made me feel this way or treated me this way, blah, blah, blah. But what can I do now that I'm moving forward from that to be able to expand and work on myself? Right? That's why self love is so important, because taking that time away from the dating world to focus on self. And again, even in a relationship, you should be practicing this. It's not just if you're single, like you should be doing this anyway. But a lot of times we have to do this before we can even have, a suitable partner, I feel. Um, or otherwise, this is what's going to keep happening. We're going to keep finding partners who are not compatible. You don't believe there's a match for you. Have an open mind. Yeah, being open minded is definitely important, but compatibility is definitely important as well, right? We can't just, give anybody a chance. Like, oh, like they're not my type, like at all. We have nothing in common, but I'm gonna give them a chance anyway. Like, no. You know what I mean? Like, being outside of your comfort zone a little bit is fine, but like, don't overdo it, right? Like, just be mindful. Like, so you don't have to be a 6'5" basketball player type shit, but they, maybe they're, maybe instead they're only like 6 feet, and maybe got like a little cute little, dad bod going on. Nothing wrong with that. It's kind of sexy. It's kind of hot. You know what I mean? Like, oh, typically you date a guy who has dreadlocks, but I don't usually use the word dreadlocks. I don't even know why I said that. Locks. But this one has like a fade. Okay, that's sexy too. Like, that's fine, right? Oh, usually I like guys with goatees, but they just have like a cute little mustache, but it's cute. You still could get that shit wet. Oop. I can't believe I just said that. I mean, I can't believe I said it, but oh my god. Okay. We're gonna we're we're gonna move on to another deck. Oh my god, I can't believe I said that. I keep saying I can't believe it, like I'm not a freshie pants on this channel all the damn time, but wow. Okay. But yes, exactly, Lati. Preference and standards. Yes, because those are different things. They are different things. All right, so we're gonna pull a few from the. There is no name for this deck because it's two decks wrapped into one. I just call it my love deck because like it's two different decks put into one, but I felt like when I put them together, like the energy was just stronger, and I'm just like, damn, like I feel like every time I read from this one, it's always so on point. Like if I do a personal reading for a person and I use these, people be like, how the fuck do you know all that? I'm like, it's not me, it's the cards. But they should be accurate. So, all right, for some of you, children can be involved. That's not going to be for everybody, so just take the messages as they resonate. But it does say young, childhood, and playful. I'm also kind of getting that if there aren't actual children involved, I'm getting more than one message, so please bear with me. One message I'm getting is For some of you, a lot of this, because as we're talking about all this stuff, and I mentioned it earlier too, some of this stuff stems as far back as childhood. For some, that's not for everybody, but it could be the case. So what you witnessed as a kid with your parents and stuff, or other, relationships. I mentioned before, like, seeing, insecure connections versus secure connections. What do those look like? They look very, very different. But if you only saw slash know, as my brother is sneezing, in the other room, um, we grew up in the same household, so maybe there's confirmation. I did sage a little while ago. I saged this whole fucking house. So just saying, that could be the case for someone. For others, it could be, maybe seeking like a childlike kind of carefree dynamic within a connection, which I can dig for sure. I love that. Like, I think it's so fun, like when you could just like joke around with your partner and, just laugh and be like little kids. You know what I mean? That's so fun. Or like play video games or board games and just do crazy stuff together. Like damn, are we adults or are we children? But right now, let's act like kids. Like why the fuck not? Like in a fun way. It's nice to be able to revisit that. So I'm getting like an inner child kind of thing here too. Ironically, I almost did pull the inner child deck earlier, but I was like, I did think about it. Maybe that's a segue into another reading another day. Haven't done one of those in a while. Messages from the inner child, maybe. All right, crickets, silence and non-action. So the majority of you who end up watching this, there's probably nothing going on in your love life right now, or you could be like, not in contact with a person who you have interest in. Nah, I'm getting you guys are single. And that's perfectly fine. The majority. Keep in mind that's not gonna be for everybody. So take the messages as they resonate. There's gonna be a lot of different stuff happening because there's different people watching or who will watch in the future. So different, connections and stuff that will show up throughout the reading. But the majority of you are probably single. Tell us more. Let's get a few from here. Interesting. Love affair. Dirty little secret and down low. Keep it on the down low. R. Kelly is not a good person, but that's the song I heard. Sorry. I love you, Chris. Ooh, something might happen in the summer. Maybe you're gonna be like, maybe in the summer you might get involved with somebody who's gonna be a little bit like a secret. Ooh la la. Feminine card is on the top of the deck, so that's about like the divine feminine. You could be the divine feminine, or it could be you are, going to meet your divine feminine if you're, energy is fluid. So, whatever you identify as. But yeah, so something could happen in the summer. It says, it's time to see the sunny side. Your answers arrive in the summer. Very, very interesting. And the answer is no in the middle of the deck. So it's kind of giving me like you might meet somebody in the summer. And yeah, this is what I'm getting. You might meet somebody like in the summer and then realize that it's a no. Like it's a dub. I'm getting kind of like maybe you're going to cut them off, or maybe this happened in the recent past, like in this past summer. Different storylines for different people. But what I am getting is maybe this person tried to like keep you a secret or something like that, and you were like, yeah, no, we're not doing that. I'm getting something like that. So maybe you severed ties with them, maybe. Let me know if any of this is making sense or resonates. Again, this is a collective, so it might not be your exact story, but there might be little elements that make sense to you. Yeah, see, like there was like a big drastic change somewhere where there was like you severed ties. It says drastic. It says extreme, harsh, and cut off. And it came out along with spring. Or this person might have had you in a third party connection too. Maybe that's what broke things off. Um, Something could have happened in the spring. So spring and summer seem important. Your love is blooming. Your answers will arrive in spring. Interesting. Those came all together. Tell us more. It'd be nice to know more about like the new love coming in. Spirit, if there's a new person. What does the collective need to know about that? It could be one of those situations, and it does happen in love readings sometimes, where, especially collective ones, where if it's just not the right time, then you're gonna get more stuff about like the past person popping in. I hate when that happens, but it does happen. And if you're not where you need to be just yet, emotionally, mentally, spiritually, so on and so forth, to be ready for something new, that's just kind of how the cards come out. And there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, sometimes it takes time to get to where you need to be so that you can be open, right? And I think that was the whole purpose of this reading anyway. And I felt that when I, you know, went with this reading today. Because I felt it even days ago. Like I wanted to go live like Friday night, I think, or Saturday, but then I got caught up with other things and just never got around to it. We have wish, hope, praying, and yearning is here. Thanks for popping in, Cynthia. Greatly appreciate you for staying on as long as you did, because you were like one of the first people here. Appreciate you. Um, Interesting. For some of you, I'm getting that their wish, like a person's wish, was to entrap you in some kind of way. It says pregnancy, money, and heartstrings. So they might have played with your heartstrings to try to get you to stay around or something like that. So I'm getting, like I said, I'm getting more like, see, that's what it is. I'm getting this is more a past person. I really would like to know more about the new person, but like I said, Spirit's not going to show that right now. It says control on the bottom of the deck. Stagnation, delusion, release the need to control situations. I'm kind of getting like you can't control the outcome, right? Or even what happens to get to the outcome. You can only control your own actions. So sometimes, what another person does and all that, that's their business. So if they did you wrong and they did you dirty, guess what? That's going to be their own karma that they're going to have to deal with. You do what you got to do for yourself and move forward, You can't control everything, but you can control how you react to it. So what we got? Negotiator. So somebody might try to come back. Or I'm getting this might be a warning. Negotiator, bargaining, and begging. Oh God, here we go with past fucking people. No, thank you. Fertility. Oh God. We ain't trying to get knocked up. Stay away from this person. Fresh ideas, manifest growth, and plant your seeds. With that entrapment card, I don't know how I feel about that. So just be mindful. Be mindful. Because I'm hoping that this is more of a past energy for you guys. Like this is something that already happened. And you know who this person is and you will not allow them back into your space. That's what I'm really hoping. Potential came out in the reverse. It says fulfillment, risk, achievement, your potential is limitless. But it was in the reverse. So it's giving me like, this energy. Excuse me, a lot of burping. I'm sorry. And ironically earlier, like I had like there was like this energy of like I couldn't get my words out and like I felt like suppressed when it came to my verbiage. Like I could not get my words out. And this could be that connection showing up now, like where maybe you couldn't get your thoughts and words out. And it's almost like you want to give them a piece of your mind now. Like, you know what? If they were to come back around, you'd be like, look, motherfucker. Look, bitch. My left ear started ringing when I said that. Oh, shit. It's like, it's going crazy right now. They're like, yep, that's exactly it. They're like, there's no potential. It's a dead end. Don't go there. Don't do it. Um, they also want you to focus on just having fun right now. Community is here. We had community twice. So, like, I'm kind of getting like, this is a good time to focus on your community. You might even meet a person in the near future within your community, like church or something like that, or if you go to the gym or something. People within, like, a lot of you guys are probably also, spiritual. So it's like you might meet each other at like a spiritual like retreat or something like that. I'm getting like a whole bunch of cool stuff, and it could happen in divine timing. We had divine timing show up earlier too. Patience, perseverance, peace, trust that the divine knows when. Yes, the divine knows. We don't have no say in that shit. It's a mystery. It's in the middle of the deck. Magic. I like that. Do you believe in magic? Intrigue, suspense. You're entering unknown territory. See, it's like a story. So there's all this bullshit that happened before with a past person, and now all the other stuff is coming. Ooh la la. Okay, now I want to be nosy and see more. But I like that energy now that's popping in. Tell us more. Please give us more insight about the new person that's coming in towards the collective, because the newer stuff I feel good about. It's that past energy we're like, absolutely not. What we got? Oof. Let's see. There's somebody. Look, that card did not want to show itself, but we're going to look at focus. So somebody's watching you. Eyes are for you, fascinated and watching. So somebody's watching. And it's, okay, we got balance here twice too. And I said yin and yang earlier. That's crazy. Darkness and light, I also said. Stay centered, I said finding your center. Wow. Stay centered in your higher self. For those of you who did not watch from the beginning, just saying, you might want to, when I get over here, rewind and just watch that little segment in the beginning, because a lot of the stuff I said already. Like some of it I just felt like it wasn't even related to a card. I just felt the energy. Yeah, but yeah, you're done with that. Whatever that shit is. You're done with that person. Completion, lesson learned. Yeah, you've been working on yourself, finding balance within yourself, understanding what all this shit meant. And now you're single and focusing on you. So let's get like 3 more from here. So I definitely am getting like, as you know, explore yourself, as we were talking about before, there's going to be something that's going to happen. For some of you, it could happen in the fall. Fall sounds like it's a long time away, but it really isn't. Time flies. Changes in the air. Your answers arrive in autumn. I like it. 4 people and 11 likes. What's the 411, hun? Ooh, look. So what can happen possibly for some of you? Unconditional love here. Unconditional says genuine, certain, and love. Ooh, I like it. Okay. That just like made me feel warm and giddy all of a sudden. I'm almost getting like you might meet somebody in this like the summer, like going into fall, and it's just gonna be like, I just heard that Justin Timberlake song. How does it go? I can't wait to fall in love with you. You can't wait to fall in love with me. This just can't be summer love. You'll see. This just can't be summer love. So it's like, it's giving me like, you might meet like in the summertime and, be vibing, chilling. And then all of a sudden, like, it just kind of keeps going and it could turn into something more. Tell us like more. Let's get like 3 more from here. I mean, claim it. If you guys are interested in love right now, claim it. That feels good. You're showing up as the divine feminine too. Nice, because we saw the feminine card from the other deck. I didn't show you guys that card, but it was like a divine feminine card because there's 2 of them in this deck, because it's 2 decks in one. But now that's the second one showing up there, and the answer is yes. Woo! The answer to your question is yes. So divine timing here again. Oh man, guys, shit. Yeah, crossroads. It's like, I said something about the crossroads earlier too. Divergent paths, choices, confusion, follow your intuition, right? So you might be presented with, something where, choices, whether it's, I'm getting a couple of things. That old person might try to come back. That shows up a lot on this channel. Might try to come back when they see you move on from them. Or it could just be saying, making a choice within yourself, trusting your intuition and saying, okay, I think I'm ready. I think I trust myself enough to know whether or not this situation is for me or if it's not, and then move on from there. Because that's what dating is, right? It really is the luck of the draw. You don't know what the hell you're gonna get. The only thing you can do is like pay close attention to how people move and, the overall vibes and stuff you get from them, and go from there. So right now you're in the healing process, which we already know, and this is confirmation. You have healing. It says self-care, time out, be gentle with yourself and your twin. So for some of you, this could be a twin flame journey or like a higher level of commitment coming in. um Winter, with those coming out together, this is winter. This is like that, that void space. Things are dormant right now, so I don't see anything happening currently. It says, you feel left out in the cold, your answers arrive in winter. So being that those came out together, I'm kind of getting this energy of, this right now is the point of like hermit. This is, doing a lot of that inner work. This is focusing on you. And then you're gonna step out in the spring and be like, what's up, bitches? Be doing your thing. Pressure cooker. It says rage and ready to explode. Regret. Oh, somebody might be getting ready to pop their little head around too soon. Oh Lord, here we go. Remorse, life regrets, loss. Start making empowered choices. So somebody might have some regrets about how they handled you and the situation, and might try to come back around while you're healing and working on yourself. For some of you, you might have even been married to this person or had a higher level of commitment, or they want to come back around once they see that you've moved on, possibly, to a higher level of commitment with someone else, and now they want to come back around. I just heard kingdom spouse. So for those of you who believe in that kind of stuff, like, you're tied to somebody and committed to somebody on a spiritual level in every lifetime. Like for some of you, you might already like be working on that process. One more from here. Um, one more from here. Actually, we got two. For those of you who believe in that kind of thing, you might already be you know on the in the 5D and spiritually connected to somebody who's like your kingdom spouse, and you guys are just like in separation because either you haven't met in this lifetime yet, but you will, or you're doing some healing and waiting for each other to heal so that you guys can be together again. Sometimes it doesn't work out though, especially if it's like a twin flame journey. Those are rough. Um, so that's a whole different conversation there. We got two cards that came out, cycles. Didn't you use that wording, Lati, earlier? I believe it was you who said momentum. If it wasn't you, that was my friend Chris's wife Tina. But it was one of you guys, or maybe both. But it says momentum, force, life cycles, and stay grounded in the now. I was talking about getting grounded before. And you have green hearts up there, which is giving me grounded energy too. So, wow, look at that. And we have family, blood ties, and inner circle. So, there's this energy of, healing family dynamics and stuff like that. Going past, generational cycles is what I'm kind of getting. We also have pop up here on the bottom of the deck. Oh, Lord, here we go. This seems very specific. This is not going to be for everybody. But there could be a situation where, especially because you saw like marriage and stuff, if you have like a family with somebody, but you're not together anymore, they might try to pop up and use the kids as like their token, so to speak, to try to, show up and just be like, oh, I want to see my kids, blah, or let's work on things. Like I'm getting something like that. It says spontaneous, unexpected, and surprise visit here on the bottom. And roller coaster, yeah, no thank you. Highest high and adrenaline rush. So it's giving me like highs and lows. It's like this person, they know how to contribute to that energy within yourself, where they could give you the highest of the highs and the lows of the lows, and that's where those cycles come in. And it's like you're moving past the cycles, you're not trying to stay there, right? That's not gonna be for everybody. That seems very specific. But if it's not that, it could just be somebody trying to pop up on you and sell you a hope and a dream of a family and shit like that. It's different for everyone. This person could be obsessed with you. She said, yeah, no. Yeah, I don't claim that part of the message either, girl. The good parts, yes, but not that part. No, thank you. No, thank you. It says obsession, must have an indulgence. I am getting that this person, one thing that they miss, they want that old thing back, if you know what I'm talking about. Boink, boink, boink. They want it back. You got that good, and they like, I want it back. And the answer is no. I said no, no, no. You asked to check into rehab, but you ain't coming back to me, nigga. No thanks. All right, let me see. All right, I'm gonna pull from the messages from the heart. I like this deck. Let's get like 3 from here, and then we're gonna pull from. I have 3 more decks after that. I'm only gonna pull like 1 or 2 from those last cards, and that's it. And then or decks rather, and then that will be the end of the reading. Because this reading it's a good one. I didn't know how long it was gonna be, but I should have known, like, you know, if we're talking about 2 different topics and whatnot, and how much I fucking talk, that it was gonna be a little bit longer. But I mean, I'm just hoping you guys are enjoying it and getting something out of it. All right, so we have trust that came out first. It says transformation occurs through acceptance. Exactly. Once you accept the current situation, it will automatically transform. Yes, acceptance, acceptance, acceptance. And trusting the process. Like, you know, once you allow yourself to understand that, you know, you just have to let things be, you know, you can't, again, talking about like what we were speaking about before, like we can't control the narrative, right? Only thing we can do is control ourselves. Wait, what did he say? I only have one ex who would be that type of papa. Oh God, and he hasn't done. No, I'm see here. I hope he's over it too, because we ain't got time for that shit. I have an ex that sometimes like he does it. It's so random. Like he pops up at the job at the liquor store, but like he doesn't know my car. So like I feel like if he knew my car, he would probably come there more often. But he probably just randomly pops up just to see if I'm there. And he did ask for me a couple of times. And ironically, the person who he asked, well, one of the times anyway, he asked for me, and it was my boyfriend. But my boyfriend didn't know who he was. So he was just like, oh yeah, some guy came looking for you. I was like, really? He was like, yeah. I was like, what he looked like? He explained to him or described him or whatever. I was like, oh Lord. He's like, what? I was like, remember the one I told you about who used to, like, when I broke up with him, he would like sit by the icebox thing and just stare at me when I would be ringing out customers? That's him. He's like, no way. So now he'll purposely, like, he's an asshole. He'll like, you know, if I say something like, I'm not talking to you right now, get out of here. And then he'll like go stand by the icebox and like he'll just like sit there sulking. I'm like, you're a fucking asshole. You're not even funny. I mean, you are funny, but I'm like, no, he did not. Ever since I told him that story, he'd be cracking up. He'd be like, wait, is that also the one that was hiding behind the garbage can when you were walking home? I was like, no, that's a different one. I had more than one crazy ex-boyfriend come to the job on more than one occasion over the years. And some of them years later. I'm just like, what are you doing? Why are we doing this? Like, I haven't dated you in like 10 years. So why are you here? Because if you want that old thing back, when you got that good, they want to come back around. We have a message for you. I'm thinking of you this very moment. Your love fills me with light. I love you. So there could be a person from the past who wants to come spin the block, who, they might have honest intentions, but I'm also getting this could be like on that 5D level kind of shit. I'm getting more so that, to be honest with you, where there's somebody, could be that kingdom spouse we were talking about, or just like, a higher level commitment on a soul level that, when like before they even come around, this is already how they feel about you in the 5D. Let's get one more from here. And if it's a connection like that, your heart's gonna know. Only time will tell. Is that witchy thing you do? I've been called a witch on more than one occasion. I'm gonna get one more from here. I've been called a witch, like, what did you do to me? I'm like, I didn't do shit to you. What are you talking about? Did not put a spell on you. I didn't do any of that. Hey Monique, what's up, girl? I'm gonna get one more from here. Because it's like, damn, like, nigga, I'm not even a witch. I did not do anything to you. Because my boyfriend, he says that sometimes. He's like, what you do to me? I'm like, I didn't do nothing to you. He's like, because you be having me acting up. I'm like, babe, I did not do anything to you. Shut up. You're like, that's what you did to them niggas too? I'm like, Yo, that's wild. Don't go saying that shit. Don't bring up those old niggas. I want nothing to do with them. They got shit to do with nothing. Okay, we got a few cards. So I'm gonna take them. They all came up face up. They all came up face up. I'd be like, I didn't do nothing. I be chilling, minding my business. But anywho, all right. So we got beware of what you are projecting, for the qualities you admire in another are qualities you both possess. Equally so, the qualities you don't like are also your own reflection. Ironically enough, I had said something about your inner world and your outer world. They will collide. Whatever is going on the inside of yourself, it will show and manifest outside too. So if you're going through a lot of shit and stuff on the inside and you're not in the best space, you're gonna see it outside of you too. Just saying. Not for nothing, I'm gonna use this as an example. A lot of people who go through like mental health issues, depression and stuff like that, if you ever met a person like that, or you are that person, raise his hand. That's why I have to use my app Finch. Thank you, Veronica. But no, seriously, like, let's say you're going through a depression, or somebody's going through a depression and stuff. If you ever see their living space, it shows up. Their space will be a fucking mess. Um, and it's like, you're so welcome, Monique. I'm happy you're here. Um, but yeah, so like, it shows up on the outside of you too, you know, and like attracts like. So if you're not in the best space within yourself, that's the type of energy you're gonna have around you. So whether it's like just immediately outside of yourself, or the people that you attract, so on and so forth. So just be mindful of that. Is what I'm kind of getting, and I'm speaking that as somebody who has experienced it themselves. Um, this is not a dig or anything like that. This is being honest. I'm very transparent on my channel. Um, so with that said, just making sure that we're keeping our spiritual health, mental health, physical health, all that stuff as in balance as we possibly can. You know, it's not easy. It takes time. It takes patience with yourself. So give yourself grace as you work on this part of the journey, because this is definitely showing. This is like, you see, my demeanor changed, right? I was laughing and stuff, and now it just got a little more serious. So I'm sure we'll have some laughs in a little bit. But yeah, I feel like that message was really important, so I wanted to make sure I got that out there. Um, Another card that came out with that one, it says, let there be closeness between you, but always give each other space. Love never claims, it simply allows and gives. Yeah, I'm getting kind of, I did talk about like codependency and stuff earlier. If you ever dealt with like codependent relationships and stuff like that, making sure that you give yourself and each other that space to be able to be individuals and do things on your own accord and stuff like that. This is almost giving me like, this is almost like advice from spirit, like down the line, like make sure that in future relationships that you keep that as a mental note to yourself. You don't have to be up under each other's ass all the time and stuff like that. Give yourself space when needed. you know be individuals. Nothing wrong with it. Emotions are a natural and necessary part of life, but they can also distort your perception, and cloud your vision. In order to see things clearly, you must let go of resentment. Yeah, don't harbor that bullshit, because it will never get you anywhere. Don't harbor no ill intent. Let all that stuff go. Feel your emotions and let them go. Let them go. Let them go. Surrender. All right. At times, we must surrender the old before something new can enter our lives. Let go, and all will work out. Those all came out together for a reason. Like I said, you notice the demeanor kind of changed, right? All right. What we got on the bottom of the deck here? Give thanks for the blessings of love soon to come your way. Ooh. Know that you deserve to. Ooh, my ear just went crazy with that one. That's future energy with this. The right ear. Oof, that got me. Okay, let me try to do that again. I'm going to read it from the beginning. Give thanks for blessings of love soon to come your way. Know that you deserve to be and have all that your heart truly desires. Where is it? Yes, we're starting to come back full circle, right? It happens every time. All right, so let's see. Let's get a couple shadow work, maybe like 3. And then we're going to end it with maybe some affirmations or something. Haven't decided yet. We'll let spirit kind of guide on that one. Alright, yeah, so we'll get like 3 from here. Some of you guys might be seeing the number 3 a lot, or 4. Let me know if that resonates. Even combinations of it, like 43, 34, variations of it. Let me know if that resonates at all. Or numbers that add up to those numbers. Okay, something like that for someone. One more shuffle. Okay. Never enough. Chronic striving, self-doubt, and fear of failure. Didn't I just talk about fear of failure earlier? Wow. Yeah, gotta let go of the self-doubt, my loves. Wow. Yeah, I was picking up on that for some reason. It just kind of hit me out of nowhere. I was like, might be an important number for somebody. Acceptance is not resignation. So that's surrender. So we got surrender here more than once. Presence and inner peace. Yeah, sometimes, you know, that whole like let go and let God kind of thing, right? It's giving me that, you know, just, you know, giving it to God, giving it to the universe, whatever you believe, releasing it and just accepting it for what it is. You know, again, the things that you can't change, you can't change it. You know what I mean? Like what can we do? We only have control over ourselves and how we behave in the matter. So sometimes you just gotta let things go. Call a spade, baby. It is what it is. And once you start to be able to do that, that's when you kind of are able to attract to, you know, that releasing of things that no longer serve you. It makes space for the things that are meant to serve in your life, right? Getting something like that. Right, let's get 2 more from here. I really appreciate you guys for being here. I know this reading was kind of long, so, you know, I appreciate all of you guys for being here. And those of you who, you know, came in like really early on, I appreciate you guys for being here that long, because this reading's a little bit longer than I was expecting. But I feel like it's very insightful at the same time. As I say insightful, we have your wounds. Ooh, I like that. Your wounds hold wisdom, experience, insight, and integration. We talk about integration all the time, don't we, guys? When we're talking about shadow work and light work. Holy shit. Wow. Your wounds hold wisdom. I love that. Whew. I felt a lot of power from this card right here. Crap. Yes. Every scar, you know, those are battle scars, guys. Whether it's like literally like physically, or like, you know, more in a, you know, in a metaphysical way, like all that stuff. Whew. Some powerful shit right here. Wow. And of course, I'm still connecting with my sisters. For those of you who are still here, if you're not one of the 2 of them who I'm about to refer to, because there's somebody else here too, or if you watch later, check out my girls, Aya Inspired Tarot, as well as Tears and Wheat Tarot Show. They are amazing readers and so gifted. They are people who I go to for guidance. So you know that they're the real deal Holyfield, okay? Know it all. Overcompensation. They have like armor on too. Overcompensation, defensive, ego shield. Have you ever met a person, you could be this person yourself, who you get overly, or I said you as if I'm talking to you guys directly, not intentionally, but this could be somebody's message. So please bear with me and don't get upset with me. But spirit kind of said it that way. I was trying to say it a different way. Spirit was like, nope, we're going to say you. I was going to say, and I mean, I could resonate with this too. Let's say if you always were stifled especially as a child or something like that, where you could not get words out and stuff, you couldn't speak your truth. And we talked about that earlier. Um, and then, like, you became almost like overzealous about being able to speak your truth. That's kind of what they're getting at there. So you don't have to overcompensate because of that stuff. There are people who are going to be willing to listen to what you have to say, and you don't have to overdo it to get your message across. If that, I hope that makes sense. Um, yeah, you could put your guard down, take the armor off a little bit, and understand that your wisdom holds power, right? You have a lot of wisdom. You don't need to, come across as like a how are you saying it, like the spirit. This is not my words, guys. You don't have to come across as a prick to get your point across. Okay, got it. I think that's why me and my son clashed a lot, because he felt like that a lot. And we've had a lot of talks about shadow work and stuff like that, and him feeling like when he was a kid, sometimes he couldn't get his point across. And now we've opened up that doorway where we can communicate, and I let him say what he needs to say, even if I don't agree with it or whatever. I let him say everything he needs to say. I don't cut him off. I let him say his piece, and then I speak mine. And we try to have it as a dialogue as opposed to an argument, or talking at each other. It's hard, okay? It's not easy, especially as a parent trying to have that kind of dialogue with your child. But you know him being older, I want him to be able to, we've always had a close relationship, but now that he's older, he is an adult. There's things I could have done differently or better as his mom. And we both come across as little know-it-alls from time to time, because we're both really smart. And he always says that. He always says this is his way of like trying to sugarcoat shit a little bit. Not even sugarcoat, but like a little bit of brown nosing slash like slight gaslighting. He'll be like, well, mom, I know that you're highly intelligent, and you're so educated, and you're this and you're that. However, da 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 da. And I'm just like, you didn't have to say all the stuff in the beginning. I know what you were doing there. You're trying to like, validate me and stuff, which is cool. But just to shut me all the way the fuck down anyway, like get the hell out of here. No, I'm just joking. But yeah, it's just funny. I'm getting that, you might butt heads with people in that way, because it's like you are, you know, experienced and knowledgeable and stuff, and want to get your point across. So you might, kind of yell and raise your voice more than you want to, or something. Like, I'm getting stuff like that. Yeah, like condescending kind of thing. And it's like, we don't want to do that, right? We could get our point across without being like that. And I know that, like, I try to be as euphemistic as I can when I deliver whatever it is I'm trying to say, especially if it's something that I know clashes with somebody else's ideas or ideologies and things like that, you know? So it's just a way to do it. And it's, it's a process, if that resonates with any of you at all. Because look what's on the bottom of the deck. I didn't even see this until just now. I just turned the deck over. It says, not everybody will understand. Exactly. You can't make this shit up even if you wanted to. Isolation, authenticity, and self-trust. So again, that whole call a spade a spade. Like, sometimes people are not going to understand where you're coming from, and vice versa. That's fine. You don't have to, turn it into a screaming match every time. You could just say, we're going to let bygones be bygones on this one. We could agree to disagree on this and wash your hands of it and be done. Sometimes that's what you have to do. Or else you become an overreactor. Okay. Flooded, panic, and past echo. And it's because of the past. Because you might have felt like your words didn't matter, was not valuable. So now you're like, well, I have this voice and I want to use it, and I'm going to get my word across one way or another. And it's like, but you have to do it in a certain way where it's welcome, and vice versa. And again, not everybody's going to be able to be on that same page as you, and that's fine. Pick your audience. Read, what they say, like, read the room, right? Read the room. Not everybody's on the same wavelength as you, and that's fine. You'll be beating a dead horse if you keep on trying to have those kind of conversations with certain people that are just not a part of that, scenario that you're meant to be a part of. I hope that makes sense. Your fullness is sacred. Yes, thank you. Big emotions, loud truths, and worthy presence. Wow. Holy shit. This is all coming full circle. I love this reading. Yeah, exactly. Like, all of it's valid. It's all valid. But again, the validity is more about you on the inside. It's not about everybody else. You know what I mean? Your story and stuff, that's yours and yours alone. Yes, people should listen to what you have to say, but again, when you know that you're not getting anywhere with a person in a conversation, throw your hands up and say, you know what? It's cool. Bet. And that could just be a person you know that's no longer somebody who you need to have in your space. And it's not in the sense of like, every time you disagree with somebody, oh, I just won't talk to them anymore. Like, no, that's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying there are certain, right, Randy Rand, do you agree? Do you agree? It's almost like when you want wet food and I give you dry food instead. Do we clash sometimes? You act like, and then we have a standoff because I'm like, I'm not giving you any more freaking food, and then you finally end up eating the damn dry food. Oh, I love her. Hi, Mama. Mwah. Hi. Want to say hi to everybody? Say hi. No, she's purring. You can stay on my lap. Don't scratch me though. Watch my boob. All right. I think she's gonna probably stay on my lap for a little bit. Okay. Let's see. So I think to close out, let's get a couple last self-care messages, and then I think that'll be it. Yeah, she's gonna stay on my lap. She's chilling. She ain't going nowhere. Um, she likes the sound of the cars when they shuffle. She'll stay for a bit. Um, ooh, okay, important. So they're saying that this is an important time to maybe get a health checkup. I know I need to make my appointments that I've been putting off. Um, because I know I had some blood work done a while back that I still have yet to go get checked out and talked about. I don't want to. I don't like going to the doctor. Nourish your temple. See, that's very important. Right, Spirit, I hear you. Just joking. But yeah. Especially now that's like, it's a new year. Ooh, sex. Let's talk about sex, baby. But yeah. Definitely important to make sure we're taking care of ourselves. Remember I said, this is deeper than just, saying nice things to ourselves. This is about everything, right? We want to get our physical bodies right. I'm going to say we, because I fall in this category too. I'm with you guys in this collective energy, so I feel like this is for me as well. But we want to take care of our physical health, mental health, spiritual health, all of it, right? We want to get as balanced as we can. Make a vision board. I like that. Some of you guys might have some really big ideas or things that you really want to accomplish and things like that. A great way to kind of get motivated is with a vision board. Like if there's a place you want to travel to or anything like that, or like a type of house you want, or area you would like to move, or a job occupation, a college you want to attend, all of that. Get like 3 from here. Family. As my little daughter right here still laying on my lap. Hi, Mom. Love her. Family is important right now. So spending time with family. I felt warm and cozy when I said that and saw that card. That's really cute. Flow like the water is here. Go with the flow. Go with the flow. And ironically, we got 24 or 23 and 24 back to back. Those cards came out together. Interesting. It's kind of giving me like being in sync with each other. Being in sync with your family, like reconnecting maybe. Something like that I'm getting. Interesting. That might be something that you've been really wanting to work on and focus on lately. Drink tea. I like that. Me and Lati were just talking about tea and stuff and like herbal stuff and things like that a little while ago. Not a little while ago, but like the other day. And ironically, we had the healing card that has them like drinking tea. And then this one, they're drinking tea. So some of you guys might be into like herbal tea and stuff like that. We also have pleasure here. Look where that hand is. Remember I was talking about masturbation? We have sex and we have masturbation. You know, either way, get your rocks off. Do what you gotta do. Sometimes you gotta use your hands, baby. Do what you gotta do. But no, let me stop. But no, seriously, like I'm also getting, because we were talking about you know, me and Lati were talking about, you know, making things with our hands and stuff like that, and it's kind of showing up here. So that message could be for Lati. And I know that my girl Aya Inspired Tarot, aka Veronica, she does make things with her hands, and she's so gifted at making like jewelry and things like that. And she's a Reiki healer, so like all those cool things, like, you know, something about the hands being healing. Some of you guys might actually have healing hands yourselves, and you know they want you might maybe to use that more too. I'm getting something like that. Clear your energy field is here on the top, so you know, clearing your space, right? Clearing yourself, making sure, especially those of us who are very spiritual, right? Like, and gifted. We're all gifted, but you know what I mean. Like, you know, like if you're an empath, for instance, like this could be a little bit of a, you know, a warning, almost like confirmation, that some of you guys, your auric field really needs a little bit of work, because you're picking up on the energies of so many other people, and you got to make sure that you're not absorbing all of that. You could observe, but don't absorb. Hope that makes sense. Just be mindful of the energy around you and in your space. Look for fairies. Interesting. Look for fairies or other, you know, metaphysical little creatures and things like that that you're into. I'm getting that. One more from here. I just heard that song. Who is it? Is it Benson Boone? I think it's Benson Boone. Mystical, magical. Song's catchy. I don't know all the words, but I like the song. And I like the melody of it. Every time it comes on the radio, I just like dance. Be still. I was talking about still. Actually, it's still here, isn't it? I was talking about stillness earlier. Yeah, so be still. And we have stillness here. So yeah, definitely getting in center and you know, connection with like your body, you know, your spirit. Look for the fairies is here again. Soak in a bath, so maybe like a spiritual bath could be a nice thing to do for yourself, or just like in general, like a spiritual bath is really cool. But like, even if it's just like a regular old schmegular bath for yourself, you know, with some aromatherapy and stuff, get a bath bomb, things like that, put on some music and candles, and just relax. But if you want to make it a little bit more, you know, spiritually motivated, like, you know, you could look up online just things you can do or put into like a spiritual bath, like for cleansing purposes and stuff like that. You know, the properties of different crystals and herbs and stuff that you could put into the water, so on and so forth. Positive affirmations. We were talking about affirmations earlier and how important that, you know, inner dialogue and self-talk is. I know that my girl Aya was definitely, or Aya, aka Veronica, was definitely picking up on that for me when we were chatting the other day, and then she did a reading for me um, yesterday, and it showed up. So definitely that inner voice, right? Making sure that we speak life into ourselves. Excuse me. As I split this deck here, we have step out of your comfort zone and try something new. It's a different deck now. And we also have breathe in bliss, exhale bullshit. So a lot of stuff about meditation, right? Been a lot of meditation. I picked up on that very early in the reading, so it's coming up some more. Let's get 3 from here to close out, and then we'll be all done. Again, thank you guys for being here. Greatly appreciate all of you for stopping in, and those of you who end up watching at a later time as well. And if you came in a little bit later and really feel like you've been resonating with this, if you'd like, you can, oh, you're leaving me, Ren? Bye. Where are you going? Probably to go eat, little greedy behind. She is so greedy. But yeah, like I was saying, that's why I made that little joke about the damn wet food versus dry food, like a standoff. She looking at me like, bitch, what the hell is this? You just gave me some damn wet food the other day. And I'm like, bitch, you're gonna eat the dry food. Fuck. I'm on a budget. I'm on a teacher budget. Hey, blessings. What's up, girl? All right, let's get a couple more shuffles from here. Get those last messages out. good. Look at that. How's that for one of the last messages to come out? It's not in the main spread, but this is very, very important. We have surround yourself with your soul tribe. Yes. And we talked about community earlier, more than once. And you guys are a part of my communities, and I'm my community, and I'm very grateful for y'all because, you guys, keep the momentum going, and it keeps me feeling like I'm doing the right thing by what I do, even if it's been slow moving. It's like I'm in touch with the right people, regardless, and that makes me happy. Ooh, brisket, yum. I'm not in your tax bracket. I'm done. Ooh, acupuncture. So look at that. Like we're seeing like a lot of stuff about like getting blood work done and stuff showing up in the comments and stuff like that, acupuncture. So, that's confirmation for us that, taking care of our physical body seems to be very prevalent right now. Good job, ladies. I'm gonna have to take follow suit on that because I know that I've been putting off my doctor's appointments for a while. I gotta go for everything. Regular doctor, OBGYN, whatchamacallit, the dentist. Like, nigga, you paying all this money for insurance, you better fucking go to the damn doctor. Those people don't have insurance at all. I have no excuse. Freaking silly. Write down your goals, big, or dream big. Let's say big dreams. It says dream big. Now we were just talking about like vision boards and stuff. So there's a little bit of confirmation even in a different deck that they're saying like they want you guys to really map things out. Put your dreams on paper. Write some goals down and stuff like that. That's what I'm getting. Let's get 2 more from here to close out for the collective. Thank you. All right, what we got? Get back to nature and reconnect to your hippie roots. I like that. Because I definitely need to go to the dispensary and get me some stuff. But anyway, where is that card though? It's very similar energy. This came out earlier in the reading. It says earth, grounding, calm the mind, connect to body, mindfulness, and nature. So there's definitely this energy of, getting grounded, which we were talking about earlier, and now it's showing up again. So big time into that. Some of you guys might want to do some shrooms. Don't shoot the messenger. Some of you might get connected in that way. Nothing wrong with it. But yeah, I'm picking up on something like that or some weed. Something along those lines. But we have on the bottom of the deck here, it says celebrate yourself, you deserve it. And it also says yay, like that. It's cute. Top of the deck we have your soul whispers love, your ego shouts fear. I like that. I'm gonna read that again. Your ego whispers love, or sorry, your soul whispers love. How is that for like basically a last message? Your ego shouts fear. Wow. How is that for one of the last messages of this reading? Align your intentions with your actions. Yes. Kind of going back to what I was saying before, right? About what's going on the inside. It's going to show up on the outside. So make sure that you set your intentions high. You're going to see that stuff, translating in the rest of your life in different areas. I don't typically do this, but I feel inclined. Where did I put that deck? I hate when this happens. There it goes. Or the box to it. I feel inclined. I don't typically do this, but I feel drawn to the guidebook of this, and I'm just gonna go to a random page. I'm gonna ask Spirit to guide me to the page that we're meant to read from here, and I'm gonna read you guys a last message because I do feel guided to do that. So let's just see what Spirit has to say. What we got? Not about the author. Interesting. It says, tune into your inner peace. You can change the world when you practice peace. There is a place deep within you that is a reservoir of unlimited peace and unshakable serenity. I like that. A place filled with love and compassion, empathy and understanding, forgiveness and freedom. A place called bliss, nirvana, samadhi, enlightenment, whatever you want to call it, it is there waiting within to be witnessed. If you've pulled this card, it's a call to become home to your sacred center. We were talking about feeling centered like a lot throughout this reading. We all crave security. We talked about security too, right, La? You just said something about that when we were talking about getting grounded. Sorry, I always do that. We all crave security. Even wanderlusts have a need for certainty about something. But where does this need come from? Nothing in nature is fixed or forever. We know our bodies, our surroundings, and even the air we breathe is constantly shifting. Yes, the only constant is change, right? Oh wow, I didn't even realize it said that. I promise you, I swear to God, like you guys are probably like, bitch, it's on the page. No, I really didn't. Because I say it all the time on the channel. For those of you who watch, I say that often, but it actually says it here. I didn't get that far down. Change is the only constant. It literally says that. All great philosophers speak of this still point. We were talking about being still, right? The still point we seek to find through quieting the mind. In Zen, there's the idea that if you accept what is, you will end up suffering. Interesting. Simply put, stop resisting what has happened, learn the lesson, and then let go. We talked about all of those things throughout this reading. Wow, that's crazy. Whoa. Yeah, accept what is, you will end up suffering. Or sorry, you will end suffering. Like, we talked about acceptance earlier, and it's like, the more that you allow yourself to just surrender and let go, that's when you start to see things shift and change. We have a lot of cards about that, letting go, like the defensiveness and all that stuff. No more holding on, guys. We're letting go. Accepting change is part of the peace that we have to find within ourselves and in our circumstances. Wow. And it's all two, or it was just all twos across the board a second ago. Wow. Okay, guys. I think that was a really good reading. I mean, I know I was delivering the message, so I might be a little bit biased. But no, seriously, I really feel like that was a good reading. And I definitely enjoyed, now there literally is all twos across the board. Like there was like three twos before, now there was all twos. But wow. I'm happy I did this reading because I felt connected to it even like I think Friday night. I was like, damn, I feel like I want to read about it, but I was too tired. So because I worked both jobs, I was like, no, I don't got it in me today. So then when Saturday rolled around, I wanted to, but I didn't get enough sleep because I kept waking up in the middle of the night. Sounds like I'm making excuses, but I'm serious. And yesterday I was tired when I got out of work, so I never got around to it then. So here we are now, and I am really happy that I did that because that was really, I mean, I got messages out of it too. So, again, I'm part of the collective as well. It's not just y'all. We're all helping each other. I'm learning how to help myself through the process. So, as I help you guys, so we're all doing this together as a unit. So, with all that said, again, for those of you who are new to the channel, if you haven't done so already, definitely subscribe. I would really appreciate it. Hit that like button. Hit the notification bell if you haven't done that already so that you know when I'm on. All those things are very helpful, especially when it comes to trying to connect with each other and, keep this momentum going because that's what this year is about, right? Momentum. So I love you guys and greatly appreciate all of you for stopping by. Those of you stuck around for as long as you did because you guys are the best. So until next time, my lovies, I'm going to go eat some. Now I'm hungry. But until next time, maybe tomorrow, we'll see. I love y'all. Have a great rest of your night. And you guys take care of yourselves. Mwah. Bye. Keep rocking that shit. Keep doing a great job. That's right. That's right.